Aloha. Okay, so in order to finish my greenhouse and do a bunch of stuff that I want to do, I need building material. The building material I need is down the side of a hill that's on the back of the property that ends up in a river. I'll show you pictures of the river. But the idea is I'm actually sliding down a sheer cliff of jungle to get to, hold on, enough seeing me, this giant timber bamboo. It's a never-ending source of timber bamboo, and it's all right here. It's just I have to get over there and cut it and get down this jungle cliff hill. I mean, you can hear the water. I'm sure you can almost see it. I'll get a picture of it when we get up higher. All right, the journey continues. Okay, so I survived. It was not fun. The whole hillside is covered in people's trash from generations. They've been throwing timber and everything else down here. This hillside looks like it's jungle, but underneath it is actually a trash heap. But let me show you. Ta-da! We're here, and I'm talking about, that is serious timber bamboo. I mean, if you look all the way up, these are 30, 40 feet tall. And we're talking like, look at the gauge on those things. The things I can build. So it's now a matter of getting it out of here. All right, I'll let you know how the first cut goes. Hey, so I might have almost fallen off the cliff. Not really, but this big piece of bamboo right here stopped me from sliding down the hill. But I'm a lot closer to the water. You can hear it now if you listen. Can't see it, but I'm at the base of the bamboo. Now this stuff is huge. We're talking, okay, so I'm still hiding behind the big piece of bamboo that stopped me from sliding down the hill. But my first recording didn't happen, so here, let's get on how big the bamboo is. All right, this piece I'm sitting right next to is at least 4 inches thick. These over here are all 6 to 7 inches around, and look all the way up. Aloha from hiding behind the big piece of bamboo. Okay, so I'm going to give you perspective on how big this is and what the base looks like. This one right here I'm sitting right next to is at least 4 inches around. These over here, they're all 6 to 7 inches. And if you look up, all the way up, it goes on for stories, literally stories. It's probably 40 foot tall, if not taller. And it's insane. If you've never been in an actual giant bamboo forest, because this is timber bamboo, it's really different. And we have it all over Hilo. It's all planted along the waterfront. All the waterways in the area are full of it. So I'm going to harvest it, but I don't know how I'm going to get it back up the hill. That'll be the next adventure. Okay, so it's been about a half hour trying to cut this. Because it's so tall, it pressures on the blade, so I have to cut, and then I have to recut. So here we go. Here's the cut. See, I finally broke surface, and I'm about to drop the whole thing. But this thing is at least 40 foot tall. And it's uniform. This thickness, this 4-inch thickness to a 5-inch thickness throughout the whole thing. So I can build most of what I need to build with this one piece. So it's pretty cool. Let me hope I don't die, and then I got to get it up the hill still. Well, success. Check it out. Told you that thing is forever long. I don't think it's 40 feet. I'm pretty sure it's closer to 30, but it's still huge, and it's heavy as hell. So next step is trying to get it up the hill. I'll let you know the progress when I get there. Okay, so now that I have this giant thing, I got to cut it up in chunks. So I'm going to take up one chunk to start off with, and then come down to the other chunks, I think, because I can only probably do one at a time. Here's what. And so that's 9 sections. So that's basically over 10 feet. So I'm cutting them over 10 feet and leaving a little extra so that I can work with it once I get it there. Pretty cool, huh? I know. Who else would spend the day in the jungle? Well, yeah, we've had success. I got it cut. Now I got to crawl it up the hill somehow. One piece at a time. All right. Here, check it out. So now all I have is a 10-foot piece to take with me. Now, and that's what's left. All right. Talk to you in a minute. Check this out. Okay. I know you can hear the water. I don't know if you can see through the bushes. Let's see if you can see. Okay. I guess you can't see, but through those things, because you can see it up here, there's actually a whole waterfall system and little swimming pools. We got this whole thing on the other side of the water. You would have to hike on the other side, but it goes up for a while. A series of waterfalls and pools that fall in here. Except you can't see it, you can just hear it. See, like right there in the center. See, that's a giant pool of water. And then there's waterfalls around it, but I just can't seem to zoom in on it. Here, hold on. But that's one of the pools. Okay, yeah, you can see part of the waterfall back there. Yeah, there we go. You're starting to see it. It's a whole complex. It's huge. I'm going to have to explore it from the other side of the water. All right, back to work. This log isn't going to move itself. All right, signing off. Well, I did it. Yeah, doesn't seem like a long distance, but it certainly is when you're carrying stuff. I got one up. I'm still halfway down, so because I got to go get other pieces. But check it out. See, there it is. There's the house that my roommate lives in, and then. Back down at the forest here. Dude, coming down is so much harder than going up. It actually is. It's twice as hard. But I'm down here. I'm going to do my second cut, and then I'll be done for the day. And I'll come back for the rest later. So, this is what we have left. I have it set up for an easy cut, so instead of fighting gravity or anything else, it's just going to fall, which is excellent. So I cut 9 sections, forgetting the end section, then count 9 up, and then cut. So it should be cool. I'll check back in. Okay, I survived. I got 2 pieces up. Each is about 11 foot. One's a little bit longer than the other. That's fine. I guess got to do the cut down to the same size. Once again, this is drop off. It just goes down and down. You can see the bamboo in the distant past, like right here. Yeah. And we're all the way up here. All right. And then the pieces. Hold on. Are right here. And so these are going to be the posts for my garden that's on the wall in the courtyard. All right. That's it. Okay, back at the greenhouse, I got the posts up, not up, but I mean, they're here, up at the place. Now we're going to do the back wall in the new greenhouse. We're going to put bamboo up. So here's the wall prepped. I have a actual plasticized fence already there. I zip tied it to a metal fence behind it, and then like the bamboo here, we're going to put this bamboo up. So I'll show you when I'm done. Okay, in order to keep the posts up, we have to make a concrete base for them. So I use concrete blocks around the post, which is over 11 foot tall. And so it's pretty hefty. And then I mixed a whole bag of concrete, a 50-pound bag of concrete. I'm going to pour it in and making sure when you do this that you plug the holes. You see, I put paper towels in the holes so that the concrete doesn't just run out. All right, I'll shoot a shot when it's done. All right, so I put in the 50 pounds of concrete, actually exactly Quikrete non-crack version. And then you see some of the blocks, but we're going to actually make this a planter so that'll be all covered in soil. Got to drill holes in this side for drainage, but then it'll be working just fine. All right, I got to do the other one, and then we can build the net. Okay, the second post is now concreted in. It's pinned in. The holes are filled. And you can see on the other one, they're wicking water. That one's drying. So this is the best center I could get for the post. So I'll mix up the concrete and fill it just like that one. Okay, here are two posts. They're both totally cemented in. Got to wait overnight before we can actually use them. And we'll stretch the net and put up the plants tomorrow. Just massive. Stretching the net all the way up there. We're going to do 2 5-foot nets, so we'll have 10 foot worth of net. Okay, so the posts are in place. The concrete is dry. All right. So I'm now going to stretch rope on the bottom, in the middle, and on the top, and stretch the net. So once I get the ropes up, and the net started, I'll take another picture. The back bamboo wall is almost done and wired in. We're going to net this first because this is a lot more fun. All right. Okay, so the first set of rope for the 5-foot tall, there's the base rope, there's the top rope, and then I already started stretching the net and went through the tree, which should be really cool, and then set it right next to the waterfall because we have a whole waterfall pond thing that I have to clean out that's actually built into the courtyard. So pretty cool. After I get the net stretched, I'll do another shot. Okay, so net is done. It doesn't take forever. It just feels like it. If you look at every junction is wire tied. And if you've ever tied rebar, and Dad, you'll really get this. It takes forever, but you learn how to tie in only one direction. I mean, every junction. And that's the only way you can keep it in tension. I'm going to put up the top rope between the two tops and then stretch the next net. And that net starts from the top down, you do it. So you do the top row in one side, and then you work it to the other side and back up. And like I split the tree between the net, which is kind of cool. It doesn't really matter. I can always trim it back. And then there's a rope that runs here, but there's also a rope that runs to this tree to secure it. And after I tie this together, I will run a rope from this post to the greenhouse to secure this so this cannot fall in certain directions. And then when I get done, I'll secure a cable from this building here to that building there that wraps the post so that it can't fall this direction, so that they're stable in 2 different directions so they can't get knocked down. Because this is going to have a lot of weight and, flux to it, even with the concrete block. All right, I'll show you after I do the next run.